Hello, everybody. I hope you are having an amazing day. I hope the weather is half as beautiful wherever you are as it is here in Texas. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful spring summer day here in the great state of Texas, and I really hope it's even a third as beautiful wherever you may be located. So, hey, but beautiful weather or not, we're here to talk all things cord cutting. We're going to do our best to answer your cord cutting related questions, talk about really whatever's in your mind in the world of cord cutting, and we're going to do our best to help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. If you're watching this on replay, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are right here on YouTube answering your cord cutting related questions. Let us know, am I coming through? It's great to see everybody rolling in. Am I coming through clearly? Is everything set up right? We got a slightly different setup. I was briefly tempted to try to take this setup and haul it to the back porch and maybe do this as an outdoor Q&A this week. Sadly, I just did not have time here. Craig, Duff, Goose, get your question in. I'll do my best to answer it. But unfortunately, I didn't quite have the time I needed to move all this from my office back to the back patio. So we're gonna have to do it here in the office, even though it's just so beautiful outside. All right, Tom, Regional, Chris. Oh, good to see you all here. Goose, you said you have a question. Let us know your question. Almost forgot to share this on YouTube or on Facebook that we're over on YouTube. Let me go ahead and share on that while those questions pour in, and we will do our best to answer them. All right. What a beautiful day. All right, here we go. Tony, Milwaukee's up there. Goose says, I love to watch all my local channels on the go with an HD run. How do I? I'm actually, the HD home run, if you use like Plex and you plug the HD home run and run it through Plex, you can do that. And then use your Plex app to access it on a variety of different ones. Jason, happy birthday. Thank you for spending a small part of your birthday here with us. What part of Texas are you in? Luke, how long will Tubi and Hulu relationship last? They have not said. So Hulu and Tubi and select devices Hulu has given Tubi a collection of Hulu's content, a small collection, about a portion of it, to stream for free in Tubi. Many different mobile devices and others. So, but when will it end? I don't know. Wow, there's actually a lot of people here. I'm kind of shocked for the launch on such a beautiful day. It's a great day. All right, Luke, did Hulu say when the new guide is coming to Roku? No, but they did say soon. And Hulu is one of the few services that's really good about trying to keep a consistent experience across all their devices. Hulu likes to have the user interface look the same on all of them. So I would expect in the next couple of weeks that we would likely, don't hold me this, I just said likely, see it come out to Roku and the Android TV and everything else. Kurt, wow, I'm really shocked. I won't lie. I mean, it is a great day. There's a ton of people here on on the video, and such a beautiful day. It's great to see everybody here. Luke, did you see the large ISPs trying to block smaller ISPs from line sharing? Yeah, they've been doing that forever. And the FCC, for over a year now, has been trying to implement new rules that blocks not only line sharing, but pole sharing limitations at the local level. So the FCC is trying to tell these big ISPs who have gobbled up rights to poles and underground accesses and basically say you have to let smaller ISPs and even ones like Google have access to your pole and other issues. So the FCC is doing their best to address those issues. Hey, as I'm answering these questions, these questions are flying by real quick. If I don't ask your question, you have to keep re-asking it. I'll do my best to answer everybody's question today, but if I don't answer it in a reasonable amount of time, feel free to re-ask it. Don't email me after like, hey, you ignored my question. It's probably I didn't see your question. We do our best, but the reality is, as you know, there's over 100 people in here and we're only a couple minutes into starting the live stream. I may miss your question. Re-ask it. I'll do my best to answer it. Cloudy in Maryland. Wow, you better move down to Texas stuff. It's absolutely beautiful down here. Are any prediction on what the Apple streaming service will consist of? Well, we know Apple is striking a bunch of exclusive deals They have a reboot coming of like a horror collection show type deal. They have a collection of different content that Apple's streaming service will offer. For now, most of these deals have been going to Apple Music service. I would expect at some point Apple will launch their own subscription streaming service. What will that include? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed it will be competitive. I love competitors because a good competitor means it helps us have the ability to stand or drive other competitors to do better. All right. All right. I had DirecTV beta. I think I answered that. Any new information on 5G? When we can expect it in the Covington, Virginia? I don't know. Very few of the services have announced markets where the 5G will come out. We know like Dallas, we know New York, we know a couple places in California, etc. They do say by 2020, half the United States will have 5G. So I would look at 5G rolling out pretty quickly in 2019. It's likely if you don't have it in 2019, 2020, 2021. So within the next 3 to 4 years, 5G will likely by one or more providers be available in your area. It'll probably be 5 to 10 years, you'll have 4, 5, 6 or more options for 5G internet for your home. Any news on the DirecTV Now DVR? No, not at this moment. Just nothing new available, sadly, with the DirecTV Now DVR. They've been doing a lot of back-end updates, fixing things in the back-end, rollout changes, so hopefully they're getting close. They got a little over a month to finish up their end, so we'll wait and see what happens. Do you know anything more about the Fire TV Cube or when it'll be available? No, but by the looks of it, the Fire TV Cube is probably coming out fairly soon, this summer, next fall at the latest, I would say. Probably not come out tomorrow, could be announced, but remember when the announcement happens, it's going to take a few weeks or maybe even a couple months until they actually start selling it. Amazon likes to do pre-orders first. Luke, do you think cable will become obsolete and replaced with these Android TV boxes? Well, no. I think cable has a lot of life in it still. I mean, there's still 90-some million subscribers. While a few million a year may be becoming cord cutters, it's going to take many years before we look at cable as a completely dead one. Do I think Roku or Android will replace the streaming box or cable boxes? No, I don't think that most cable providers in the United States will replace their cable boxes with a Roku with an Android TV. Why? Money. They make money off these boxes. They charge you, like, I think Time Warner cable customers are paying $11 per digital adapter a month. That probably didn't cost Spectrum more than $30, $40. So Spectrum probably is making $50, $60 of profit in the first year. After that, it's all profit. So I can't imagine they're going to get away from cable boxes and go to a streaming service for two reasons. A, highly, highly profitable to be having a cable box. Number two, it is very, they don't want you to have a streaming service because if you have a streaming device, you start using Netflix more than you use cable, you're more likely to cancel your cable subscription. So keep that in mind. We'll wait and see. Will the price for Hulu change? Very possible. Hulu has not had a price change in many years. Will it be a big change? Probably not. You may look at $1 or $2 in price difference, but it's been maybe 4 or 5. Has it been at least 4 years, it feels like, since Hulu changed the price? So keep that in mind. Hulu has really done nothing in the price realm, where you look at cable and they're going up $10, $20, $30 a year in price hikes when you add in all the fees and everything. So if Hulu goes up $1, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Paul says he hates the Hulu Live user interface, but he really loves the picture quality. Do you have any information on Hulu and the channels they may be bringing? Hulu today did announce that they rolled out their new guide. So they have a new guide to help you pick out the different apps, but they or the different channels you want to watch, see what's coming up, and so on. But they have not hinted about any new channels. I'm not sure they have a lot of extra room in the Hulu to put in a ton of extra channels without either having to raise the price, create add-ons, etc. So we'll wait and see what Hulu does. Do you think CenturyLink will offer faster internet in small towns? I'm 90 miles north of Dallas and it's 10 It's the fastest they offer me. Yeah, I had CenturyLink in a very small town, and 10 was the fastest option, and it was actually the fastest option, even faster than cable in that town. Do I think they'll be speeding up? Yeah. When 5G rolls out, suddenly you're able to get far faster internet with 5G than you are with CenturyLink. CenturyLink's either going to adapt or die. It's just the reality of it. So, yeah, I do think competition, I always say this, competition, it solves a lot of problems. Competition will solve a speed in rural areas. So we got to get you competition. 5G's coming. Give it a couple years, you'll probably see it there. Or move. You know, moving's an option too. Luke, do any Android TV devices support Hulu with live TV? Somebody help me. Is Android TV supported? Is Hulu live TV supported Android TV? I want to say yes, that the new app is on my NVIDIA Shield, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. As soon as I get asked the question, I'm having doubts. Anybody know if Hulu with live TV is on Android TV? Let me know. I had a TV box, but Spectrum will block the Wi-Fi signal when I tried to connect to Wi-Fi. A wrestling machine, I'm not sure. Are you saying like you had a Roku and it was blocked? Are you saying like your cable box had Wi-Fi but it wouldn't work? Tell me more. What exactly do you mean with that? Let me know. Lou, okay. I have YouTube TV. One of the frustrations that I get 60 frames per second on Chromecast and Apple TV, but now my LG Smart TV not supported. Have you heard anything regardless? Yes, not all devices are supporting the 60 frames per second. Select Roku's, Chromecast Ultra, Apple TV, and I don't know, I want to say Fire TV, but don't count me on that, do support 60 frames per second on YouTube TV. But not all. It could be an issue with the software. It may be added, it may not. But if you really want 60 frames per second, a Chromecast Ultra, etc., are fairly cheap. You might discuss VoIP solutions like Uma. You can save significant money by getting rid of standard phone service. Ron, yeah, we've actually posted about that quite often. If you go to Core Cars News and you type in Uma, you're going to see multiple posts on our site talking about how to save money on home cell phone service. So check that out. Is the DirecTV Now beta app easier to change channels since they added channel numbers? Some people say yes. Being able to sort them by channel numbers is something a lot of people like. I think a lot has to do with DirecTV Now and DirecTV are merging the backends. So the apps are going to be the same pretty much. The backend is going to be the same. And that for AT&T means that you are... Okay, back up. So that means you... With AT&T, they only have to pay one app team to develop one app. Instead of having a team that's developing a DirecTV Now app and a team developing a DirecTV Now app, they just have DirecTV Now and Hulu, or Now and DirecTV Satellite. And what channels you get depends on what package you paid for. All right, Wrestling Machine. He says he bought a Kodi box and it won't connect to Wi-Fi. Well, Wrestling Machine, it's probably the box you bought is defective, I would say. If all your other devices can connect, but not that device, your local internet provider is not saying, oh, that's a Kodi machine, we're going to block it. It probably has to do more with, probably has a lot to do with the fact that your device is defective. Does the TCL 6 series support 60 frames per minute? Yes, it does. So both the 5 and the 6 series do. Luke, have you heard any more about the Verizon Live TV service? They say it's going to launch in the fall, and it's going to launch alongside their 5G service. So we'll wait and see how that looks. What? Back bonds? What's till 6? Are you talking about the Roku TV 6? I don't understand your question. What's the TCL 6 series? The TCL 6 series is a new line of Roku TVs. It's the new ultra high-end Roku TVs. It's the highest-end Roku TVs made. Local dimming, contrast control zones, all kinds of stuff. The new 2016 Roku 6 series also includes a metal body versus a plastic body that most Roku TVs have. Yes, Hulu is available on Android TV. So yes, Hulu Live TV is available on Android TV, I'm hearing. So I'll assume the Mi Box, however you say it, Android, the NVIDIA Shield, etc., all have access to it. All right, hey, if I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. I just missed it. Don't email me later complaining I don't answer your questions if you don't re-ask. Any news about the Fox Nation app coming this fall? Nothing new. All we know is they are going to basically be additional programs, not what the Fox News feed is, but additional ones there. You know, Wrestling Machine, we stick to a lot of the legal services here. I really don't have any recommendations for which jailbroken device you should buy. My recommendation is, here's the danger. One of the big things I don't recommend these for. There's several pop-up boxes. One of them with a name very similar to ours recently just stopped working. So people have spent, in some cases, over $300 for a fully loaded, you know, Cody box, as they call them, put little quotation marks. And then one day it just stopped working because with all the lawsuits happening and everything, a lot of people behind these are deciding, well, it's just not worth it. Not worth it for us to go through that trouble. So they're walking away and shutting down their boxes. So yeah, a lot of people have spent hundreds of dollars on these fully loaded where you buy this and you never pay again. Just a few months later, in a couple cases a few weeks later, have it stop working. So that's my warning for you. I would go buy a Roku, go buy an Apple TV, Fire TV, etc., and pay for the stuff legally. You'll probably save money in the long run. Luke, will the DirecTV app for Roku be updated? Yeah, they already have it, Ron, just this week, actually. The beta app for Roku on DirecTV Now had a big update with new features added. So, yeah, they're slowly adding a ton more content out there. Will CBS All Access be different with the Viacom streaming services? We don't know. I mean, the Viacom-CBS merger is not a done deal. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Will CBS include Viacom properties into All Access? We don't know. We just don't know. You think CBS will ever come to DirecTV Now in Raleigh, North Carolina? We have the other three, but missing CBS. Yeah, I would expect by the end of the year, most locals will be on services like DirecTV Now, Hulu, etc., and at least one, if not all of them. It takes physical time. So, for instance, Sinclair has a deal with DirecTV Now, and they slowly been adding some. Now, they don't have all of them. They may have a contract for all of them, but they physically have to go make a physical connection, make sure it's properly encrypted, do all kinds, install hardware at the station, set up the connection on their end, program at the geo restriction marks to make sure that only people who should get that channel get it. Because if you're the Waco, Texas affiliate, you don't want the Dallas local ABC being shown in your market. You want your local being shown. So there's things. It takes time for each one of these. So give it some time. I would expect that more of them will be coming out in the future. So fingers crossed. Hopefully soon your local will be there. Chris says, I saw your post on April 16th about Philo is coming to Apple TV, Android, and Fire TV in the summer. Do they have a time frame when the launch date might be? No, and probably deliberately. As with all things technical, nothing goes quite according to plan. They may find a glitch during testing that may make them it not work the way they want it to work. So take summer 2018 as a general guideline, and don't be surprised if it takes a few days longer than expected. Just because they may have it all set up to be the way they want it to be, and then they find a glitch and they have to go change something on their end. So these things take time. And you think like, oh, Philo, it's a huge company. Reality, it really isn't. It's really a small company. There's a very small team of people. I think we looked at LinkedIn once, and there's like 40 or 50 people, and probably half of them work in ad sales, just to be honest. So just keep that in mind. It's coming. Luke, any news about Layer 3? Well, Layer 3 was bought by T-Mobile, and T-Mobile is hoping to use Layer 3 to renegotiate contracts to create a streaming service. Past that, it's all we've heard. Fingers crossed it turns into something. Luke, if I get DirecTV Now, do I still need an ISP, or does AT&T take care of it? Well, you can have AT&T be your ISP, but yes, you still need internet to watch DirecTV Now. Is there a way to get Hulu TV with Hulu streaming, no ads? Well, you can get Hulu's live TV service and have the limited no ads, whatever, streaming service. And so yes, you can do that. Now your live TV feed will still include ads. Your on-demand content will, just like if you had just the on-demand part, will not include ads. Does a VPN affect your local programming to channels? Yes. It can. Many streaming services will block you if you try to use a VPN with them. 2, if you're messing with where they think you're located, you may get the incorrect locals or no locals at all. So just keep that in mind. All right. Hello, Larry. It's good to see you here from Brooklyn. Adam, good to see you here. Is there a way to get the live chat on Roku's YouTube app? I'm not sure. I don't know if they do that, to be honest with you. So we'll have to wait and see. If anyone knows how to get live chat on like Fire TV, or excuse me, they don't have a YouTube app on Fire TV, Apple TV or Roku, let me know. Luke, what's the best way to port my number from a Magic app to Orbi? Orbi 200, I have reviewed that. It's a very nice device. In their setup, they'll show you how to port your phone number when you buy it. There's a simple guide. You go to their website. I don't know off the top of my head, but keep that in mind that they can. They'll help you merge it. Raymond says, Luke, what streaming service app block a VPN? Well, Netflix is one, Hulu, Amazon, they all do it. The question is how effective. Some are more effective than others, and it's kind of a rolling thing. Like Netflix and these VPNs are constantly playing games back and forth. For a few weeks, this VPN may work. Then Netflix will cut out. A few weeks later, they'll make a change to try to get around it. And some VPNs have shut down because they've decided that it's just not worth the trouble of these fights. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as VPNs, really a VPN should be used for security. It's what I use it when I travel, use public hotspots, etc. I use a VPN. It's highly recommended. I wouldn't recommend it for a streaming service. You're probably not going to get your money's worth. Fairstorm says, how come I never mentioned Antop OTA antennas? I just haven't tested them, and so I can't say if they're good. I think I played with one and it was okay. All right. Will DirecTV Now and DirecTV and DirecTV Now become one? Eventually, their CEOs have said that they intend to have streaming replace satellite. Not anytime soon. We're talking way down the road for that to happen. Does anyone experience the buffering from who like I do? Any suggestions? Ricky, on Court Cards News right now. There's a link to Court Cards News in the show notes. Go to courtcardsnews.com. The #1 story right now on the site, on the homepage, is a guide to address buffering. 9 times out of 10, the issue is on your end. When will Hulu TV improve their user interface? They just rolled out an update today with a new guide on it. I know a lot of people don't like their user interface, but it is what it is. Richard, well, I'm a military spouse myself, so I'm always a big thing about that. And pretty much every president has done that. It's not something any other president hasn't done, but it's good to see that the Trump administration is continuing that trend. I think the Bush administration first did that. So there's my non-core kind of question of the day I answered. AT&T may get rid of DirecTV Now to get Turner Sports. Maybe, probably they won't. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if someday down the road, so you got Dish, you got DirecTV, they're the two big satellite providers, just like XM and Sirius were. Someday down the road, not anytime soon, but someday down the road, they may look at each other and say, hey, 2 satellite TV services aren't going to survive. There are still many customers in very rural areas, etc., that want our service. Maybe Dish sells their half to DirecTV, or DirecTV sells their half to Dish, and they say, hey, just take our satellite customers to you, you pay us a fee, we're good. And then instead of 2 services failing, one of them will succeed. So very possible that at some point one or the other will go under. So keep that in mind. All right, I gotta move there we go. All right. Any news on the launch of a Pro's AT&T watch? No, they said the next week out, maybe by the end of the month. We'll see. It was sit during the court case, basically. I would expect the AT&T watch may actually be waiting until the court case is resolved, and that's not going to be resolved until June. So we'll wait and see what happens. Melvin says, why is it so hard to get a 2nd-gen Amazon Fire TV? Because they're discontinued. Amazon has not made them in like almost a year now. they've been out of stock on Amazon and at most stores for about a year now. It's the pendant is the new version. So the Fire TV 3, that pendant design is what replaced the Fire TV 2. Kurt, I believe the E Network is owned by one of the parent. I'm not sure who owns them, but I believe it's somebody who also owns a sports and news channel, which makes it it makes it less likely the E Network will show up there. Luke, how do I transfer DVR on YouTube to another service? You don't. If you stop paying for your YouTube TV, you lose everything you've DVR'd. Does Turner Classic Movies offer a pay channel? Turner Classic Movies has, I believe it's called Filmstruck. It's a streaming service owned by Turner Classic Movies. And Turner Classic Movies is on multiple different live TV streaming services. So check that out. All right, keep those questions. Again, if I have not answered them, re-ask them, and I will do my very best to answer your questions. NBC owns E Network. I thought it was something like that. So yeah, until Philo figures out a way to get NBC to sign up for them, it's probably not going to be on NBC or Philo anytime soon. It is on many other streaming services though. Do you think Roku will continue to release new set-top boxes, or will they push towards Roku TVs? I think Roku TVs is the future. The reality of it is, hardware-wise, the hardware we have today is probably capable of being fairly future-proof. And with Roku and others, let's say a new feature comes out, well, it's software. You just run a software update. The reality is, like Roku showed today, that they made most of their money this year off licensing and off of ads, not off hardware sales. Half of all new Roku accounts were Roku TVs. So TVs are the future. Larry, I don't really understand your question. You say you mean your hard drive or my DVR recording? I don't understand your question. Can you re-ask that? Give me a little bit more context of what you're asking. I heard from another YouTuber who thought Android TV may soon be dying out. What do you think could happen? Isn't Fire TV Android OS? The Fire TV is a fork of Android OS. It's a completely separate system built separately from Android TV. So they may both have Android under the hood. Amazon has forked it, made their own. Is Android TV going to die out? Nope. 1 second. Let me restart. I'm not so sure Android TV. Android TV is actually getting a good amount of partners out there to sign up with them. There's just not hard or set-top boxes. Like there's a new soundbar with an Android TV built in. A lot of TV manufacturers, especially outside the United States, Android TV is actually doing better outside the US because it's available in markets like Roku is not, and the Amazon Fire TV is not. So Android TV is doing better in those markets where Android TV is the only real player in the market. So I think that's actually doing better. What I think is not going to do as well is Chromecast. I really think the Chromecast player is at a dead end. With Chromecast being built into all kinds of TVs, with Chromecast being built into Android, and now that new Android dongle device that's likely to come out later this year that looks just like a Chromecast but with Android TV built in. The hardware, the physical player of the Chromecast, I think is at its end. I don't think it's going to go anywhere in the future. It's the physical hardware now. The Ultra is fairly future proof. It's not like they have to update the remote or update additional ports with the way it works. And with Chromecast being built into different things, I just don't think that's going to go forward. So we'll wait and see. Craig, you are right. Google did introduce the Android dongle, but only as a developer kit. And I have a full story about it over at Core Cars News, where I even say this is likely to come out to the general public in later this year. But the Android TV developer dongle is a slightly different one than what was approved by the FCC. So just keep that in the back of your head. That it means that there's a second version of it meant for public sale. Luke, which over-the-air TV guide would you recommend? Titan TV has a pretty good one. I'll check out Titan TVs. Luke, I have a Tableau DVR. Looks good. Yeah, Tableau DVRs are some of the best ones out there. So check that out. What does Fubo TV currently offer at 60 frames per second? I think most of their channels are at 60 frames per second. I am not really sure, to be honest with you, which channels on Fubo TV are 60 frames per second and which are not, sadly. So I just don't know. I don't know which ones are and which ones are not. All right. Most of our TVs have a nice guide. Yeah, like Roku's, etc. have a nice OTA TV guide built into them. I really recommend Roku TVs, so keep an eye on that. That's a really good, I think, if you're going to buy a smart TV, Roku TVs are probably the best smart TVs. Any update in the Set TV lawsuit? No, very soon, probably in Discovery. We'll wait and see what happens. The Android TV soundbar makes it look like a receiver for your entertainment system. Yeah, you'll be actually able to plug in like your Blu-ray, your Xbox, etc. directly into the soundbar. There's going to be like 4 or 5 inputs on it, and then it will pass it through to your TV. So it'll play the sound, the soundbar, pass the image up to your TV. It looks like a really nice one. Coming out this fall. We don't know pricing on it yet, though. Luke, do you see services like Hulu with live TV allowing you to watch live TV on streaming media devices like Apple TV outside your home? Hulu is actually, I think, is now the only one of the major ones that doesn't. DirecTV Now, Sling TV, even PlayStation Vue recently added the ability. They used to not, now they do. There's some additional limitations outside your home, but you can still do it. You have to bring your device back home a few times a month on PlayStation, where Sling TV, DirecTV Now, they just don't care. They're going to have their give you access to it wherever you're located. So yeah, most live TV streaming services allow it. Hulu does on phones and tablets and laptops allow you to watch it, but it's on your streaming player. You can't take it outside your home, which is a real shame, unfortunately. I've got YouTube TV and all of the locals with the exception of PBS. Is there any reason I should get an antenna? Am I missing something? Well, yeah, because there's a lot more than just it. Now, back in the day when your parents or grandparents, depending on how old are you, had an antenna, it was just ABC, NBC, Fox, etc. Now, for instance, the average tablet DVR owner receives over 30 over-the-air channels. There's a lot of other locals out there. 2, it doesn't count against your data cap if you have it. 3, if you're into sports, I highly recommend you have an antenna. There's no delay. The picture quality is better. It's at 60 frames per second, so smoother sports. Much better experience using an antenna versus a streaming service. Just the reality of it. An antenna will give you a much better experience than a cable TV subscription. So just keep that in mind. Plus you get PBS and a whole host of other locals that you're not getting with your YouTube TV subscription. Luke, why does DirecTV Now give me one regional sports channel in my area, but YouTube TV gives me 2? One of the other services is misidentifying your location. Happens. I have PlayStation Vue is notorious for this. I have PlayStation Vue. It thinks I'm like 3 hours from where I live, and it gives me two markets over. It gives me locals from, and they can't seem to get their mind around the idea that I don't live there. It is what it is. All right. Next question. Let me know. Keep those questions coming. Do you think VR headsets will ever become popular for personal media consumption, like Netflix, Hulu, etc.? No, I really don't. I think this is like 3D. Does VR have a future in front of it? Yes. For most people, not all, TV is 2 things. It's either a communal experience, like I go to my grandparents and we turn on the TV, we're watching a Michigan football game. My cousins are there, my aunts and uncles are there, we cook some dinner, we watch some football. It's a big group deal. Not everybody wants to sit with, a headset on and be cut off from everybody in the room. 2, TV is a very casual experience. For many people, it's a experience where I'm on my phone, I'm on my laptop, I'm, shopping Amazon. The idea that I put on a headset and I'm basically blocking out everything else to watch TV show, I don't think it's something most people do. So the idea now that I'm going to sit down every day and watch a majority of my TV viewing through a VR headset, I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, at least not with the current state of VR as it is today. Is there select programs that will maybe be best viewed in VR? Yes. But I think for the majority of people's viewing VR, it doesn't fit it. It's not a very communal experience. It's not an experience where I'm sitting with all my aunts and uncles watching a Michigan football game. It's not the experience where, like, I had a long day at work. I want to check Facebook. I want to shop on Amazon. I want to look at my phone. I want to look at my laptop, etc., and watch some TV. It's not very conducive to that kind of experience either. So, no, I don't think VR is going to be the hit people are hoping it will be. Richard says, Luke, fourth time I asked this. Well, Richard, a lot of people are here. I'm doing my best to answer all of them. Any news on the new TiVo DVR coming out? No. No news right now. Robert says he likes VR. Yeah, I think VR has a future. I just don't think VR is at a point where it's going to replace the average, or replace a TV set for the average family. I just don't see it being able for daily use to replace the majority of people's TV viewing. So, all right. Why have local channels been so slowly to add internet TV services such as PBS? PBS has said it's a combination of contractual issues. I think part of the issue is they're a public entity, and public entities typically move very slowly, just to be honest with you. All right, keep those questions coming. If I have not answered your question, leave me a comment. But hey, don't forget we have an app on Android, iOS, and Amazon Fire tablets. A link down in the show notes gives you full access to all the stories that we cover over at coldcarsnews.com. I think we had like 10 stories today, so check that out. And give us a 5-star rating. Please, we need more 5-star ratings on iTunes and Google Play and on Amazon. If you like our app, please give us a 5-star rating. Henry asks, when is the new DirecTV Now app coming? We don't know. Sometime in spring, so it has a little over a month right now. Have Roku released the news feature for the Roku channels? Yes, they're rolling it out. Some devices started to get it last week. Probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks, all Roku devices that are getting the update will get it with the ability to stream live news for free there. Hey, I'm going to quickly hit play on an ad. Ads help us pay the bills and help me feed my family. So, hey, some of you will see an ad, others won't. This will be a really quick ad. All right, so hey, and if you're still seeing this, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And keep leaving comments. I really do appreciate it. All right, do you think Stars is coming to PlayStation View? I don't know what PlayStation View is doing. Actually, I'll wait. I'll answer this question when everybody gets back from the ad break, because I think the future PlayStation View is an important one. May DirecTV Now begin PBS? Yeah, I mean, PBS has said they want to be on streaming service, that they're hoping to work that way. So it's very possible that DirecTV Now will get a streaming service soon. Here's a question I wanted to ask when everybody was here. Do you think Stars is coming to the PlayStation View? I don't know what PlayStation View is doing. I really wonder what's happening over there sometimes. Well, beyond the fact that their PR is horribly incompetent. But PlayStation View is... its future is very unknown at the moment because they haven't been very clear. They're losing a lot of channels, raising their prices. Money seems to be an issue from the way they talk. Dropping a lot of content, moving stuff into higher packages like their newly created sports package. So I just don't know what they're doing with that. So they've lost Tribune and Sinclair locals in the last few months. So I just don't know what PlayStation View is doing. Could they edit Stars? You'd think there'd be money for it since they lost all these locals. They lost some others. They created the sports add-on and moved a bunch of channels to the sports add-on. You think there would be room there to go add more channels to their lineup. So we'll wait and see. Will AT&T Uverse offer for 4K TV? A few services, DirecTV has a few things at 4K. Even if a service offers 4K option, most channels do not air in 4K. And the ones that do, it's usually like an event here, a sporting game there is in 4K, and that's it. Is there a third-party app that will allow me to view channels from an HD home run? Yes, if you take your HD home run, plug it into your Plex server will stream to a Roku. I don't believe there's a reason why HD home run can't be on Roku, other than the HD home run people don't want to make that happen. Just to be honest with you, Tableau, Channel Master, Mohu's antenna all do effectively the exact same thing that Channel Master does, or the HD home run, not Channel Master, excuse me. But they all work on Roku. So I think the reality is HD home run, Silicon Dust just needs to make a decision to make a Roku app. I think it'll help them sell a ton of devices more than they're doing. Duff says that he thinks that Sony has lost passion for PlayStation View. Very possible. Very, very possible. Luke, a good place to keep up with tech and media news. CourtCarsNews.com. CourtCarsNews.com. Link in the show notes. Luke, is Roku not able to play Impact 2? It hasn't stopped anyone else from being able to play their content over there. So, HD Home Run, there's no technical reason they can't create a version that will work on Roku. That's just the reality of it. Other devices don't support that too, so keep that in mind. All right. Will Hulu Live TV add more locals? Yes, Hulu has been slowly adding more locals. I would expect by the end of the year, most locals will be streaming on most streaming services. So keep that in mind. All right, questions, comments, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. A lot of news. Slow kind of day, though. With the beautiful weather, I'm actually shocked how many people are here today. It's a great turnout. So thank you to everybody who has come. I really thought about doing the Q&A this week from the porch of my home. It's just so beautiful. I hope the weather where I am where you are is half as beautiful as where I am. So yeah. All right. Has anyone reviewed Spectrum Choice? How well is it worth it? Jared Newman over at Tech Hive gave it a good review. And look, from everything I've heard, it's a good service. So the downside is there's some pain feeds, has some limitations, but overall it's not a bad deal. Luke, question: I have an old antenna Mac. Can I use it with a tablet? Yeah, an antenna is just a dumb device. An antenna is a piece of metal that picks up all the signals. So an antenna will pick up FM, AM, shortwave radio, everything. It's the tuner in your TV that takes all that data and says, we're just going to look at the TV aspect. Your AM radio just looks at all the data and says, we're just going to look at the AM, FM radio, etc. So keep that in mind there. How about a guide for Hulu Live? Robert, on select devices, Hulu is rolling out a new guide starting today with more devices coming in the near future. So keep that in mind. Kurt, it's a new service. Who knows? Maybe they will. Spectrum's Choice service will allow you to get more channels in the future. I'm kind of surprised they're able to even offer that, to be honest with you. But they're finding a way to do it. All right. Questions, comments? I'll leave them here. I will do my best to answer all them. And if I have not answered your question, re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it. What do you think about Set TV? Well, what's that old saying? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Set TV is currently being sued by a laundry list of services, including Netflix and Amazon, for content right infringement. So it seems that they have a pretty compelling case. I'm no lawyer. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I would suspect that Set TV is a precedent-setting case. Once that happens, a lot of these similar services may be sued. We'll see. Set TV has not commented on the lawsuit, but it has been filed. Paul says, I just logged in. Did I hear Hulu Live has a new guide? Yes, Hulu's rolling out a new guide and select devices, including like the Apple TV and Xbox and more, with more devices coming in the following weeks. So they're rolling it out. You know, it's really interesting for and what devices get apps first. Roku by far is the #1 selling and most used device in the United States, where all these services are limited to. And like Philo and Sling TV and Fubo typically releases their new features on Roku first. DirecTV Now and Hulu seems to do it on Apple TV, which is a distant, and I mean a distant, fourth place in both sales and user, behind Chromecast and the Amazon Fire TV. So it's very bizarre to see, who brings their apps in particular places. If you had to ask me, I would say, these app developers are geeks. They like their Apple, so they develop for Apple first because they like Apple. So that's what they do it. Because let's just be honest with you. If you look at numbers, if you're a business person, you bring your service to where most of the customers are. Most of the customers on Roku on the Fire TV, those should be the first devices you're on. Hey, I see a bunch of people asking about piracy services. And we don't really cover piracy services. There's so many legal services out there, we would recommend that. And especially warning to people who want to buy these $300 Kodi boxes that promises you'll be able to get everything for free for the rest of your life. Increasingly, these boxes have been shutting down, being sued, and more. And so these people who spent sometimes $300 just a few days ago suddenly find themselves with a device that doesn't work anymore. Had somebody call the office just today to say, oh, we're sorry, we don't have a device that works anymore. So just keep that in mind. That when you buy a piracy device, you run the very real risk that the money you just spent will go down the drain. And then you'll be either having to buy another $300 device or go getting a legal streaming service. So just keep that in mind. Michael says, since none of the streaming services offer 4K yet, do you think it's worth buying 4K TV? That's just not true. There's actually many streaming services that offer 4K. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu has it too, if I remember right. And a laundry list of other services out there offer 4K HDR content. There's actually more 4K content streaming than there is on a cable TV provider. Many, many times more content that way than there is on a cable TV provider. So keep that in mind. Any news on feedback from the ATSC 3.0 test markets? Not yet. For all things, it sounds like it's going well, but they haven't officially announced anything at this time. Plex had live TV on an Apple TV before Roku, too, I think. Kurt, I don't know where you're getting that, but that's just not true at all. Roku was the very first streaming player with a live TV streaming service. So Kurt, I don't know where you're getting that, but that's just completely inaccurate. So Roku had that a long time ago. So, all right. Oh wait, you mean Plex? Actually, I don't believe so. I believe the Roku had Plex first. Also, I didn't see that Plex one, but yes, I do believe Plex was on Roku long before it was on the Apple TV. Did you hear that Comcast losing MGM HD? I think MGM HD channel got rebranded some time ago as a different one, but don't count me on that. Is that, or am I wrong? Or was it the HD channel? I don't know. I thought they already had that rebranded, but don't count me on that. Oh, well, Ed, if you want to hook up a coaxial cable for either cable or for an antenna, you may want to look at something like a Roku TV or Fire TV. They have a coaxial port, allows you to connect an antenna to your Roku device and have your, same with Amazon, have your antenna built right into your Roku. So keep that in mind. So, all right, questions, comments, let me know. I will do my best to answer them, and we'll go from there. Does Hulu Live support ESPN3? Not inside the app. So Sling TV is the only one that puts ESPN3 content inside their Sling TV app. All others do allow you to use your like Hulu login to log into the now it's just called ESPN. It used to be called Watch ESPN, and from there you can access your ESPN3 content. So you just use your Hulu login if you pay for the Hulu Live TV to stream to the stream ESPN3 content. So I want to know if cord cars get the emergency broadcast system through TVs. You can get through your over-the-air TV just like you would anything else. I don't. You will get it through a live TV streaming service. So the emergency broadcast and 1.0 standard is just an overlay. So if you're watching your local ABC through DirecTV Now, you're going to see the same image as if you were watching it on your antenna, as if you were watching it through Comcast, etc. So that little pop-up with the emergency broadcast will show up on DirecTV Now, Hulu, PlayStation View, etc. Just like if you get it, just like you would with an antenna, just like you would with Comcast, because it's just a dumb feed. Now ATS 3.0 will offer additional features, but there will still be a dumb feed for Comcast and for Comcast and Sling TV, etc. So there will still be a dumb with a emergency broadcast logo. All right, maybe I'm confused. Chris said MGM HD did not get rebranded. I swear, maybe it was used to be called something else. Is that whole channel getting shut down? Am I reading this right? The MGM HD is being shut down. Oh wait, that's in Latin America, so it's very possible that Comcast is dropping them. They're still available on PlayStation View. And I want to say DirecTV now. I don't know. But I swear the MGM HD channel used to be called something different. Can you help me with that? Am I just remembering it wrong? Maybe I'm thinking something different. But yeah, MGM HD in Latin America was shut down and replaced with AMC. But it's still available from what I see on PlayStation View. Does ESPN Plus still offer a 30-day trial? I'm not sure. I believe it's 7 now. We'll see. Well, Chris, yes, the channel will still be live for a while, or the website will still be live for a while, even though they're going to shut down. And like, for example, yeah, G4TV.com. Now, G4 TV has been disbanded for years now. For several years, G4 TV has not existed, but their website still exists. And let's see here, it's kind of funny when you go to it and you click on the very first story, you click on the stories, it gives you, oh no, page not found. So it's almost like somebody forgot to turn off the G4TV.com website. It's kind of a shame. I used to like G4 TV back in the day. I don't know. Please post a new video with the new Hulu Live guide. I intend to. Hang tight, it's coming. Probably tomorrow. It says I have a shield. Did I miss part of a question there? Let me know. Tech TV, I love G4 and Tech TV both independently as great ones. If you love Tech TV, you should maybe check out twit.tv. Leo will pour a bunch of the Tech TV people are now over there. Universal HD, thank you. Awesome. That's what I'm confusing there. Hold on one second. Excuse me, I'm confusing MGM HD with the Universal HD channel. So yes, I used to love the Universal HD channel when I had cable. You know what's silly? I used to love those sunrise programs. I've worked from home for many years. Now I actually have an office. I shoot this from home because I like to come home and have dinner with the family, but we have an office now. But I used to put on the TV the sunrise show. I used to DVR it back when we had DirecTV. Oh, 10 years ago now, or maybe 8 years ago, whatever it was, before I canceled cable. And I would enjoy watching in great HD that channel. I don't know why, I just did. And I think it was about 10 years ago. So I know I'm weird. I'm willing to admit it, but I actually love the Universal HD channel. The funny thing about Universal HD, they were one of the first channels in HD. And when they launched and they started doing things like the Sunrise channel, where it would be an hour-long program where you watch the sunrise, they started shooting those things just so they would have 4K content. Because when they had 4K TVs, they wanted to say 4K and HD, excuse me, not 4K, HD subscriptions, they wanted HD content. So they started shooting sunrises and putting it on Universal HD just as an example of what HD could do and fill an hour worth of HD content. And the show actually became fairly popular, strangely. So welcome to the weirdness out there. When you think something won't be popular and it suddenly becomes popular. All right, if you have a question, let me know. Hey, a couple things. There's only a few more minutes left here. If you are new, I see a lot of new names I don't recognize. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. We post all kinds of videos here on YouTube with reviews, products, how-to guides, first looks. We like to do a lot of first looks here. When something new launches in the world streaming, rather than you have to go and buy a device, rather you have to go and subscribe to a streaming service and have to remember to cancel before the free trial, we like to do a lot of that here to give you an idea if you can use it. Also visit us over at corecarsnews.com and check it out. Every day, 5, 6, sometimes 10 times a day, we're posting news stories all about the world of cord cutting. So check it out and you'll be able to get full access there to the whole world of cord cutting. Cord Cars News is now over 5 years old. We'll be covering the world of cord cutting now every day without missing a day. So for many years now. So check it out. Hit the subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Just search for Core Cars News for all the best in the world of core car coverage. What's the best streaming service for your dollar? Well, that really depends on which service has the channels you want. Because if I give you a service that maybe per channel has the most content, but it doesn't have the channel you want, it may not be the one you have. But per dollar, last time I ran the numbers, I want to say it was Sling TV. So you get the Sling TV $20 package, and you get their 4 add-on for $10. So for $30, looking at the number of channels you get with that Sling TV, so the orange package plus their 4 add-ons for $10 will give you the most channels per dollar. That doesn't mean they're channels you want. So maybe it doesn't have as many streams as you want. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. For your specific case, get in what you want. Maybe YouTube, maybe DirecTV Now, maybe PlayStation View. That's a great thing about cord cutting. Each service is a little bit different, offers a little bit different channels and different packages, different features. Finding the one that's right for you is what's here, not what everybody else likes. With cable, they'll say, hey, we have 4 packages, 3 packages, whatever, and you're the one, you got to pick one, and it may be what you want, it may not, but this is what we're going to give you. With cord cutting, you can create your own package, you can pick what's right for you, and hopefully it really helps you get what you want. Kurt says, live TV. Yeah, I believe live TV was on the Apple TV first, came out Roku pretty quickly thereafter, but Plex was on Roku first. K Scott, K Scott says, well, Sling TV is glitchy, some say. I can find people who are going to say DirecTV Now is glitchy, some people who say PlayStation View is glitchy, Hulu, etc. I can also find you 100 people who would say, oh, Sling TV is the best because it's solid, PlayStation View never buffers, DirecTV Now never buffers, Hulu is the best, etc. The reality is, try them out. They all have 7-day trials. Try them out individually. Avoid the temptation to get all of them at once and try all of them at the same moment. But get out there, try them, and see which one works best for you. And also remember, if you're getting a lot of buffering, the issue may be on your end. Live TV streaming services take need faster speed, stronger Wi-Fi, etc. Than a Netflix does. Netflix can run at a very low end connection, much lower than a DirecTV Now. So the problem may be your Wi-Fi. If you ever have buffering or anything like that, go to corecarsnews.com right now. At the top of the site, the number one post is a post about how to basically address your buffering issues. And that should give you some steps of things to try on your end. Wow. It's been a while since I've had to reset that twice during a Q&A. But it will allow you to go out there and test it out, see if it's right for you. These steps will help you see if the buffering is on your end. And who knows, maybe it's just not a right fit for you. So keep that in mind. All right, last call. If I haven't answered your questions, repost it. Hey, Robert, thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Fair stamp. How much do cable TVs or streaming TV services compress compared to OTT, over-the-air TV? Excuse me. They all compress it. Cable compresses it. Satellite compresses it a lot more, I think. So yeah, they all compress it. I don't know what percentage compression it is versus OTA, but yes, OTA will always give you the best one. Compared to cable, OTA will look better. Compared to streaming, OTA will look better. If you can get an antenna, that's the best way to do it. Doesn't count towards your data cap, and just it's the best experience possible. All right, everybody. Hey, I'm gonna cut it off right here. Hope everybody has a great day. I'll take this one last question, but I'm cutting it off, and this will be it. Luke, what's your thoughts on the TCL 6 series? I haven't tested it out in the office. As far as seeing many have returned it, take that with a grain of salt. TCL or Roku just reported half of all TV sale or new users are TVs. So to say, well, I heard people are returning that. People return all TVs. So take a grain of salt. It's kind of one of those things. I bought a TV, I took it home, and it works. Do I go on Yelp and say, oh, the TV works? Or in the same way as I got home and there was an issue, I take the TV in and I complain on Yelp for example, restaurants. The truth is, when things work, people don't post about it on the internet. So you're always going to see a disproportionately large number of people complaining, whether that be a restaurant review, a hotel, a TV. When you read about things online, disproportionately it's negative because no one goes on Reddit and says, you know what, today was a good day. Nothing interesting happened. I plugged in this new TV and it worked. But if it doesn't work, they go on, hey, today was awful. My day was awful. I bought this new TV. It didn't work. That's much more likely to be posted. So the good news is buy a TCL 6 Series if you've been thinking about it from a place that takes returns. I think it's in that price point. It's probably one of the, from my testing back at CES, it's probably one of the best TVs at that price point. So keep that in mind. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap that up, but just take that with a grain of salt. I don't care if you're looking at restaurants. I don't care if you're looking at anything. You'll always see more negative comments than positive because people who have something negative to say are much more likely to post about it than people who have something positive to say. So take care. I will see you next week. For everybody new here, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. Tell your friends. Follow us over at corecarsnews.com. I appreciate your support. Don't forget, every Friday we post our weekly recap show, Friday mornings, right here on this YouTube channel. All the biggest stories in the past week of the world of cord cutting, and daily updates over at corecarsnews.com. And lastly, don't forget about our app. Would really appreciate a 5-star rating on iTunes and Google Play. Take care, everybody. See you next week.